Yo, what's up, YouTube? Today on this Lakey experience video, we're going to be talking about coach tips from a player's perspective. Now, when I say a player's perspective, it's not going to be biased, because I feel like in order to fully help players and coaches, this needs to be as 100% authentic as possible, so that first and foremost, this video is definitely geared towards coaches, because I think that side of the spectrum is kind of off limits in a sense when it comes to players. So like, I kind of want to give you guys an idea of what most players are feeling or thinking while you're coaching them, and how you can A, help them become better players, and B, help yourself become a better coach, because everybody loves to win. And once you do these necessary things, I feel like that can nothing, like it's gonna give you the results you want, and that's gonna be to make this person the player he or she can be, and to boost your record. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the first thing on the list is, as a coach, respect. That's big. And I use respect very, very loosely, because granted, you know, my videos are more so towards high school players up into the professional level. So I feel like at that age, you know, regardless, you shouldn't be disrespecting anybody, but at that age, you know, as a coach, you're gonna say some things that are a little along the lines of, okay, was that for the betterment of myself or what? But, you know, if you can build a relationship with a player to where that player knows that you aren't overstepping any boundaries and it's all for his improvement or her improvement, then that's the kind of you know, platform you want to be on with that person. So, you know, just don't be the type of coach that is always 100 miles per hour. You never really get to know the people that you are coaching, in a sense, because relationships matter. So if you can build a relationship with your players, you can get away with a little more. So, you know, first and foremost, respect, definitely. Now, this one right here is pretty big, in my opinion. I think it's maybe should have been number one. Or actually, these not even in order. It's just tips to help out. When you're making your teams and you see a player or whatever, however that player got there, somebody on that coaching staff had to like what they saw. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care who you are. Assistant coach, head coach, GA, whatever. Whoever made it to the point where that player was able to make this team or get recruited to come play for this team, you saw something, or you liked something, or whatever the case may be. That person is there for a reason. Now, with that being said, don't shortchange that player, because that's only going to hurt the development of A, your team, and B, that player's future and their progression as a player. You don't want to bring somebody in and, you know, don't get me wrong, there are some players where you bring them in and they feel like they're supposed to be the man. They don't want to put in much work. That's understandable. I get that. But there are other guys who, they come in, they want to work for everything that they get. They want to earn everything. They take criticism well. They just work hard. Don't sell them short. Like, even if you got a guy that comes in and he's just a freak athlete. He doesn't have the skill level, but he's a freak athlete. You can build on that. Like, there's so much to be built versus saying, well, he's not going to give us much at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, you know, like, because a player like that, like, that's how we get the Giannis's of the world, the Derrick Jones Jr.'s of the world. Like, those guys, you can't tell me that they were just based on skill their whole career. Like, they were freak athletes, and they had somebody come along, coach them up real good, trust them, And now look at him. So as a coach, I really feel like it's very important to, when you got guys like that, see the little things, look for the little things, because if you have a team full of guys that excel in certain areas on a 10, like an 8 to 10 man, maybe 12 man roster, depends on how you do your coaching thing, that is the formula for a championship team, because you got guys who can do so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, he can do this, but he can't do that. But Jake can. Or Jake can do that really well, but he can't do that. But Tommy can. You know, so you got so many guys, like, you pick up where, like, it's a domino effect. Okay, he can't do this, but he can. And you got so many guys that can come in and get the job done and trust each other. You're going to become like, you're going to get like that New England Patriot type, San Antonio Spurs type of basketball, like, you know, whatever. Like, that's the type of team that you want. Versus, I got 2 or 3 guys that are just really good. We're going to just run the game through them the whole time. That works sometimes, but more times than not, that doesn't win you a championship. Like, we can look at all of LeBron James's teams, and every team, I don't care what you want to believe, every single team he's won a championship on, a guy on that team or a group of guys played a key role. Like, this guy killed the rebounds. This guy was a general on the floor. This guy was a knockdown three-point shooter. Like, LeBron, I feel like LeBron, because I think he really coaches the teams, but LeBron does a great job of getting players that are going to fit into the system he needs to be successful. And I feel like that's what coaches need to do. So with that being said, that kind of ties into confidence. Don't be the type of coach that breaks the player's confidence. I see it so much. I see videos now. Like, I seen one video, a guy, he's on the wing. He goes right into a move. It's not even half a second. You see the coach on the bench throw his hands in the air and does that. The guy proceeds, and it's very efficient. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of dribbling, but very efficient. I think he goes cross, tween, back around, right to the rim layup, 2 points. Maybe took 2.5 seconds. Okay, yeah, maybe he broke the play. But you have guys that are gifted that can go one-on-one. Like, the next guy, maybe he's not capable of going one-on-one, beating someone one-on-one. But if you have someone that is, yeah, coach him up. But give him the opportunity. Give him the green light sometime. Like, okay, some plays, you know, we're going to want you to run it through. Run it all the way through. But other plays, I believe in you to make a play for us. You can create your shot. Give them that same confidence you might give the other guy that you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I like, you know, and coaches have favorites. So just get that out there right there. But give that guy that same green light, because it's going to be games where your favorite player, he's locked up or he's having a bad game. And you're going to want those other guys or those role players to pick it up when you look and you only got 8 points off your bench. It's going to hurt then, but you got to build them up in practice. You got to build them up in normal days. See them in the hallway, like whatever, or be their friend. Like, that goes a long way with a lot of guys, especially when mental's involved, because I was a big mental basketball player. Like, there's not much I can't do, but the moment I felt like you didn't believe in me or you weren't really rocking with me, I would shut down as a player. Like, I would start second guessing everything I was doing on the floor. Like, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And at this point, I'm light years away from playing basketball. Like, I'm thinking about something totally different. So when it's time to actually get on the floor and produce, I'm just not in the right frame of mind. So confidence is key. And with that being said, still demand your respect as a coach. Like, your principles are still intact, but being able to instill confidence in players that are not only going to help the program out, but give you the confidence as well as a coach. Like, I can put in anybody and be okay. We can go against anybody and be okay. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my throat, but yeah, so like, I definitely feel confidence is 100%, and that brings down a lot of players in the long run. Outside of confidence, I would say, this is a big one for me. So when I just went overseas, I guess it kind of goes into confidence, but it's also a little placebo act as well. For those of you who don't know what placebo is, it's pretty much like false courage in a sense, or like it's like a sugar pill. Like you give somebody a pill and say it's gonna cure them, but it's really a sugar pill. It's really all in that person's head. That's placebo. And that's the mentality I have when I go into like playing places. Like I went to Germany and we had some guys who, you know, overseas it's a different dynamic with certain sports because it's not their main sport. So they don't have the opportunity to really practice or whatever. So like the skill levels are gonna be different. And I knew that going in. So once I went in, I didn't come there with a big head. I didn't come there thinking I was gonna, you know, like I went there with the thought of, one, getting better myself, two, embarking on a new journey, and three, helping all the other guys out along the way. So we would have practices and whatever, and even if it was like something that I thought maybe deep down, yeah, maybe they can't do that, I would always tell them, bro, you can. Like, I know you can do it, just, you know, and there would be times they would exceed my expectations because once you instill that in someone's head, the sky is the limit. Like I've seen, like in that short time frame of me being there 3 months, those guys really raised their level of play so high that it was amazing to watch. And I don't want to take all the credit, but I definitely feel like I played a part in that because every day at practice or every game, I would tell guys, like guys who would tell me they couldn't shoot, I would say, bro, I throw you the ball and you have 2.5, 3 feet of room, I better see you shooting that. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you airball. I don't care if it gets blocked. Shoot it. Because I know you can shoot. I've seen you hit a shot. I don't care what. Like, if it was a 2-foot shot, I've seen you hit it. I'm telling them to shoot it. And that brings in confidence. And, like, you're pretty much molding them into the player or person you want them to be. So, like, that's just a little tip, like, tactic I think coaches should take on. Like, it's so much players can do, but they doubt themselves or they're nervous, they're scared. So, like, if you can, like, give them a little push, like training wheels, like, man, I know you can go through there and finish strong. Like, you're bigger than everybody, or you're faster. Like, you start telling somebody that, and they hear it enough times, they probably gonna start to believe it. And once they start to believe it, they're gonna do it because you manifested it. Like, they're gonna manifest it in their own self. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely try to add that to your coaching tactics because I was amazed by it. Like, in that short time frame and with the little bit of gym access we would have over there was no reason for the way that some of these guys were able to excel in their game like that. So it's only a couple reasons of how or why that could have happened. So I definitely can't preach that enough. Like, these are your guys, protect them. You're a family. So why not tell somebody that you're a family, there's love involved. You can do this, you can do that. Never try to bring them down because that only hurts you. You know, it's like a human body. Like, okay, you love your hands. I love my hands so much. I love my hands, but I hate my feet. I spit on my feet. You know what I'm saying? Then one day your feet don't work. You're not walking around now. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing as a team. These could be your favorite players, but without your knees, your elbows, your feet, that team is not going to succeed. So give everybody on that team the same amount of love you give your hands. You know what I'm saying? Give them that same amount of dedication, that whatever the case may be, and I guarantee you it's going to do wonders for you. And you're going to reach limits that you never thought you would reach. Like, we see teams all the time. Like, I use New England as a prime example. Yes, I'm a huge Tom Brady fan, but at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of their success came from the coaching of Bill Belichick. We see so many guys coming there that were undrafted, that were never heard of, and they become household names after they leave there. And that's strictly because Belichick puts nobody ahead of anyone. Like, Tom Brady is by far the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And we see how Bill Belichick treated him. He treated him just like the 52nd man on a roster. That's how you have to coach. Now, you can have your favorites. It's life, I think. But, like, to let that be known and your other players see that, it's going to hurt your program. So, like, just by instilling that in his players and excellence, like, you could have a guy that we're paying you this amount of money, but if you're not producing, we're going to put that third string in. If he starts producing, that's going to make everyone continue to work hard, versus you have some players where, okay, I'm the top guy on the team and I'm making this amount of money, whatever. I don't got to work that hard. And you got guys behind them working their ass off and they're not getting the light of day. They're going to start to slack off too. So with a program like that, you have everybody working at max capacity every day, going hard. So if injuries happen or trades happen or whatever, you're never going to miss a beat. So I feel like with these tips that I've just given, and it's a small section, but if you can instill these tips in your team, you're going to get similar situations and similar programs like that. And that's going to, raise your stock as a coach, because they're going to see, well, he didn't have the best players. Like, he didn't have the 4 stars or whatever, 5-star players, but he was always right in the mix every time it came to tournament time or playoff time. That's going to raise your stock. And as long for your players are going to want to play for you. Like, okay, yeah, maybe they don't bring in the best guys, but every guy he brings in, he cares about him and he believes in them and he gives them so much confidence and they all play so hard for him. I want to be a part of something like that. Like, it's a domino effect to where it, in a positive way though, you know. So if you can instill that in your formula, I really feel like you'll be successful. But other than that, that wraps up this video. You know, please like this video, subscribe, share it. And even if this is not nothing for you, like, share it to somebody, because somebody might need to see this, and that can help them either if they are a coach, help them with their tactics, or they can give to somebody they know that's coaching or whatever, or bringing up kids that they're training their own kids, like whatever. This video can help. So like, just because you see something and be like, okay, I know Mike, but you know what I'm saying, like, share it. You never know, like, it go a long way in the long run. And that helps my videos be seen by others. Like, they might click this video, watch a little bit of it, but they might go to one of my other videos and they might get some information that they was looking for that they never found until then. So please subscribe, share, all of that. Like, and comment below. Like, I definitely would love to get some feedback from you guys and talk about some topics that you're, like, you know, if you're trying to get overseas, or if you're trying to make a team, or you're having trouble with a coach or whatever, like, just let me know so I can touch bases on it. 1, touch bases with you, and 2, like, maybe you're not the only one with that same dilemma, and I can make a video to help out the next person. So never be a stranger. But until next time, my peoples, I'm out.